I have the numbers on it. I can explain it. Looking at
They take simple mathematics and then they add fucking mathematics to it. They add math magic to it. That's what they do.
Magician.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they fucking do.
Well, anyway, a minute ago, Sassy was talking about about the moon and shit. Well, I grew mushrooms for a long time. My mushrooms, I was curious. I noticed that they grew overnight. I was like, maybe it's just that I think they're growing overnight. So I would pick a specific time to look at my mushrooms every day, 10 o'clock at night. So from 10 o'clock to 10 a.m., I have a visual growth in the mushrooms. The mushrooms grew at night. You keep your mushrooms in the dark all day, all night. So they don't know what's daytime or nighttime theoretically, but they do. You get what I'm saying? They know when the nighttime is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Definitely. There's two different types of lights.
And they have completely different effects on like that's left out.
Of course, one's cold. Shit, the moon is cold. If you stand in direct moonlight, you can feel that it's cooler than if you stand beside something or up under something. True, the wind is not touching you, but radiant heat and radiant cold goes through walls. So you'll still be generally the same temperature as the area around you. How come when I put my hand up to feel that moonlight, it feels cool in the same sense as when I put my hand up to feel that sunlight, just not as direct.
And they've shown experiments where there have been candles that have burned less than when they were in not moonlight, when they were in a different shadowed effect that wasn't in direct moonlight.
Last longer in moonlight or vice versa?
What was that?
You're saying that candles last longer in the moonlight or vice versa?
Yeah. Like they did a experiment and they had candles and there was a partition, and the ones that were observed in moonlight tended to last longer.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely look it up. It's very interesting. And like I said, if you take a plant and you set it next to fire, it reacts very differently than if you stand it next to a LED light or something like that.
Yeah,
which
you can grow plants. You can grow plants.
Yeah,
with LED, but you can't with candlelight, like I said earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying.
It lends to the idea that maybe the sun is not fire.
Yeah, some sort of electric. Yeah.
More plasma.
Yeah, Tesla, right? Because he was squashed down super fast.
It was retarded.
Yeah, they said that Tesla was retarded. He was squashed down so fast.
The sun is more plasma, not fire. It's more plasma.
Yeah.
There's no fire. There's no oxygen like that to have fire to have that heat go through.
Where did they get the basis of plasma from, though, Brother Ed?
What? How you say thermal?
Right. The ether, right?
Not the ether. It's thermal something. Some physics. It's the second law thing that's why.
Thermodynamics.
Thermodynamics.
And it will burn itself out, meaning instead of being size, it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger because it's got to use different things to have that same heat. So it has to expand.
Create byproducts and tri-products. Yeah, I feel you.
So
that, go ahead.
That just tells you
that
I
knew what it was.
It's not fire, because fire burns and scorches and destroys whatever it touches. The fact that trees and plants and bushes do not burn after it's spending all day in the sun, yet we could burn. Our eyes can go blind from looking at sunlight or being exposed to it for a long period of time, but it's not combustible fire. It's a radiant energy source. That's how you know it's not what they say it is.
Exactly.
And
Spot on.
can't grow in the desert. See, I'm telling you, I've lived in the desert now 3 years, coming from the south, and you can grow in the desert. You can grow whatever you need to in the desert. You just gotta have a whole lot of nutrients and a whole lot of water. The whole lot.
Yeah.
And you can make the plants hardy enough. Tomatoes, whatever you're trying to grow, they'll be hardy enough to survive. But you can't be using no jug nutrients. You got to go back to source, and you got to start using coconut water, powdered coconut water, alfalfa seeds, making herbal teas and things to water your soil, so that you have earthworms living in your soil and mites that eat spider mites living in your soil. You know, like there's so much no-till organic gardening. I know Sister Sassy's into gardening at the moment. I don't know if she's looked into no-till organic gardening, but it's back to our roots of our native ancestors. And that's how they grew back in the old days. You grow amazing shit using nothing but popcorn. What Maine said was like 17 cents a gallon. All his herbs and everything.
It do, and really and truly, they have made it so that you don't even need soil to grow. If you do it hydroponics correctly, you can air grow your plants.
Sassy knows what's up, man. She's got some shit going on.
You know, I know, sister.
Aquaponics is where it's at.
Yeah.
Actually. You want a closed system.
People in Africa, you can't feed people in Asia, you can't feed people on the Antarctica or whatever bullshit. Man, aquaponics, like, bro, just
here are the animal products.
It's a wonder too, because you know they said the topography of the Terra some eons ago was such that it was lush and it was green, but they never tell you what caused it not to be that way and why the Nile didn't produce the way it did before. Where you said what?
It's a lag.
That's when they talked about the first signs of climate change, because 4,000 to 6,000 years ago, that whole area was lush with the green and palm trees was in the desert. So,
like I just said to you, it doesn't mean that it can't grow. You understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. They have steps of ways of putting their argument into things that don't make sense.
Yes, sir. Exactly. See, we got to take away these constructs they put up of all sorts. We still pick away from them every day, you know, and I'm sure you understand that too. I hear you all the time speak. You may not be on this flat earth shit, but you ain't not on this flat earth shit, if that makes any sense.
But see, the thing that they think they so smooth about is the fact that if we can get the ISS to orbit for years and years and years, how come they haven't figured out here down where we live how to pump water in, have irrigation systems to refertilize those parts that are so-called dry or barren or desert land? They could spend just as much money as they spend on all that damn CGI as coming up with ways to grow food in places where food is scarce. The fact of the matter is they don't, because they're in a depopulation era where they want to kill off 90% of human beings. For what reason is anybody's guess at this point.
Control. I mean, I don't want to take over this beat or anything, but Sassy, I believe you said that you lived like pretty close to where I was. Is there any way I can get just your email address just so we can kind of get in contact?
Oh, for sure. Just hit me up at cybersassy03x@yahoo.com, and that's SIB as in boy, E as in echo, R, S as in snake, A as in apple, SS, Y as in yo-yo, 03, X as in X-ray at yahoo.com. Yeah, we're only like 35 minutes from each other.
I'm gonna need to do that just one more time because of the they like to cut us out. Even though we can talk into space between me and you, it's gonna cut out.
I'll put it in the back chat. In our chat, I'll put it in our chat.
Awesome! That's fucking awesome. But yeah, in between you and I, we can't tell each other your email address, but they can talk to space.
His gravity works different.
Stop it.
Yeah, because you're
gravity works. It works in mysterious ways.
Well, thank you, Sassy. I fucking love it. Thank you.
Y'all know damn well gravity works in mysterious ways. Stop acting like y'all don't know. Yeah, gravity is
I think gravity be grabbing me in my sleep with its gravity self.
Oh, it be grabbing. Oh man, that's not cool. That's not cool. They need to like I say, they need to find a way to come to brightness on this earth, man. This earth is spinning so damn fast, I can barely keep up with it nowadays. I be driving to point A, I end up in point B. You know what I'm talking about? In 5 seconds. It should have took me 8 hours to get there. 5 seconds, I'm already there. I almost missed my stop, man. This earth needs to slow down. It's spinning too damn fast.
You need to talk to somebody about that, sister. That's fondling in your sleep.
Who we gonna call? Gravity Busters? I mean, who we talk to about that?
I be worried about going to sleep because gravity be trying to take me places I don't want to go. When I get ready to lay down, you know, they said that gravity hold you to the earth, and so I be feeling gravity and I be trying to get away from gravity. When I go to sleep, I feel gravity pulling on me.
Now that's kidnapping. That's a whole other thing now.
Is there a law that protects the human rights when it comes to gravity, or is gravity above the law too? Right. We need to protest or something. Where the hell Nick went at? Nick just got up and left. He probably went to go get something to eat. I know he got the munchies.
Here and making some noodles.
I'm making right now some noodles. I'm about to eat some damn noodles. I just got through eating before I went live.
Dread had top ramen.
You're beyond that top ramen right
there. Yeah.
I still got a question about the moon.
Look.
Oh, Vegan, you welcome. Go ahead, my brother. Shit, you know the floor yours. Go ahead.
Dread, do you see the screen? You see the screen?
The motherfucker said it was Madonna and the most high. Saying I'm off?
Yeah, it says it's been temporarily stopped. Your stream.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
I told you that nigga said stream.
Video was interrupted. The streamer stopped streaming.
Yup. Yeah, they fucking with me stream. Here we go, y'all. We was doing our Madonna and the most with the stream. Oh, man. So we know what that means. Go ahead, Vegan. I think as soon as you said that, they chopped us off. Go ahead, Vegan. I don't want you to say what you got to say, but we ain't gonna allow that.
I don't know if this is a factor, but up here in the Northeast, we got a lot of snow. So I'm not saying that's the cause, but I don't know how it is around the rest of the country.
I ain't got no snow.
When they start talking, when you look at the moon and you see all the craters, the first thing that comes to my mind, what caused those craters? Were they earthquakes? And they usually say it was asteroids. But where are the asteroids? How do you have a hole in the ground, like the Grand Canyon, for example, without the thing that caused the hole actually in it? Did it seep into the soil? Like, where is it? Did it get up and float away? Like, what happened to what caused the craters on the moon?
Right, and if it's asteroids, how did it get on the side that's in between the Earth and the moon?
Exactly. You know,
Gravity guided it. Gravity guided it. It maneuvered around its way between the Earth and the moon.
Yeah, but Earth's
That's
gravity.
a little bit of what they say. That's a little bit.
Though, why would it take away from the moon?
They'll say that
Because gravity has a mind.
they'll say that too.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They'll say that Neil deGrasse Tyson said it the way I can't remember.
So
What the hell just happened? The head lag out.
he was about to explain where the asteroids.
Hello? Oh, we got booted or lagged out again. I can't figure it out nowadays. It's gotten so damn bad.
Recognize your face, all the hating you
toe tag. 50 cans on that bitch said he had. Even off the top of about 6 months. Don't try to lie and don't try to front. See, fuck niggas like that, I don't trust you. But when they in your face all day, that's my problem. But soon they get behind your back, they try to fuck you. But the whole time I've been playing you for the suck. It's a damn shame. Money and fame made a nigga change. But who do we blame? And now you stuck in my truck, about to dump the body. MIA day counted by the ask somebody. What the fuck do we do? When we dealing with a motherfucking hater. A motherfucking hater. What the fuck do I do? When I'm dealing with a motherfucking hater. A goddamn hater. What the fuck do we do? When we dealing with a motherfucking hater. A motherfucking hater. What the fuck do I do? When I'm dealing with a motherfucking hater.
Fucking nuts.
Alright, we got it back. We good. We got it back, baby. Told you I ain't finna stop this bill. We ain't stopping tonight, man. We're not stopping tonight. Fuck wrong with them? Trying to stop a. You saw they try to stop the bill, y'all. That's why I hit them with that. Yo, look here. What do you do when you're dealing with these motherfucking haters? Appreciate that, Greg. Bought it bad. Toe tag. You know what I'm talking about? When you bought it bagging and toe tagging, this is what you expect. You know what I'm saying? But I think Sassy, I think your YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
I think you might want to do that. All right, I saw it to the end. I'm gonna see if Vegan might get back on. I wanted to hear what y'all was just see when the bill be getting good like that. You see how it was? Mm-hmm. It hurt.
Yeah, he had some more questions about this.
Hurt. Right. It don't hurt. See, what we do, it don't just hurt the mind. I think it hurts the soul of the individual when that truth hits them. You know. But it's all good. Hopefully we get Vegan back on here because I want the brother to continue where he had left off from, man.
Because we be having too much fun talking about they superheroes like Gravity, you know. They don't like that. They don't like when I be talking about how Gravity be trying to grab on people and stuff, violating in all types of ways. You know, not just the mind, but you know what? If it's holding us down, I don't want to be held down by Gravity. Gravity need to stop grabbing people.
Gravity's a curse.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No delay. Oh, shit. Oh, God, Madonna. Why is you even online? Get offline. Get offline right now.
They said it was Madonna and the Most High that hacked the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing that up, let me finish what I was saying, just because y'all said Madonna.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
They'll say that that force of the impact when it hits something would make a perfect circle right then and there. So no matter how big the crater is, the center point is always the point of how they say it? The point of impact. The problem with that is they already have calculations how dense the moon is. I seen another video explain this real well. It's probably like an hour or something. It's real good. It's the whole thing about what I'm saying. So these craters don't add up. So let's say if what they say is true, then why is it so shallow and so wide? It needs to be a little bit deeper to have that calculation to prove that what they're saying. So there are people out here that's going, you know, mathematically and sciencely against what they're saying. And I'm going to try to find that video and post it. But a lot of the things they say, they kind of get it from Earth. Like I said earlier, how the bullet, like if somebody's hunting and they hit an animal and it don't hit no bone, a lot of times you will have an indentation on the bullet. And the bullet didn't go through nothing but the animal, just skin and flesh and, you know, meat. But it has an indentation on it. How is this thick metal hit flesh and has that? So they will just use that and say, well, put it up to the same thing in the moon. Well, that's why it happened. So again, they'll say that's why there'll never be a slide, because that's that point of where it happened. It would be a perfect circle because it'll make that object drive in itself, and the only thing it can do is burst outward. So no matter what angle, when it touches that spot, it will have that explosion like that. It will be perfect. Yeah. But like I said earlier, well, that video shows why isn't that it needs to be deeper. If it's so wide, you gave a calculation for the density of it, and that don't add up.
Yeah.
So,
but it still don't answer the question. What happened to the thing? No. What happened to the thing that actually hit the moon?
It blew up and incinerated in itself. And the only the point of impact and how they like to say it, microscopic traces of, because how big the force was.
Obviously, if it hit it like, you know, such impact, it would obviously have to fuse with whatever. Hold on, just a moment.
But wouldn't they find some type of residue within the crater when they scoop it up and get samples?
They'll say it's microscopic residue.
Wow. So
you know another thing they'll say? They'll say all of it is rock, and it's kind of hard to distinguish the rock unless there's enough of that different rock to say this is that. So it will be that big sample. We always sample little things. So they need to grab a big piece of the earth and then break all that down to what's not the asteroid or whatever, and what is actual earth, and then test that. So they have a lot of ways of showing you that it's so far ahead of to answer these questions.
So going back to the original question, something impacts impacts the moon. While it's together, it makes a complete indentation into the moon, and then it explodes. And that's why you got perfect circles all over, perfect craters all over the moon. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and they'll put it to the splash effect, like when you drop hits on the ground, I would make the splash around. So it's many different ways they'll show you. Yeah, see how this do that and that do that.
But the thing that they drop, it has to disintegrate, break apart. You would have to drop the basketball. It creates the crater. Exactly.
Right,
and it won't. It'll bust.
The thing was strong enough, big enough to make a crater, but then it blew up.
But they would say
it should have blew up as soon as it touched the damn moon.
Yeah, so that's what they're saying it did. That's what they're saying it did.
Well, how do you get a crater?
Because of the blowback of the impact of it beating into itself.
Because you got explosion when you have that impact, the explosion's going in all different directions. You don't have a perfect circle crater.
The little craters on there don't look like explosions. They look more like bubbling, like the way a thick custard or some shit would be like.
I didn't catch that, Nick.
What about the fact that it's on the moon makes it do that? Is there no atmosphere, or is it the fact that the gravity is less?
Well, I can't answer that. All I can tell you that back in time, it was a war in heaven, and the moon suffered from it.
Oh,
that's what happened. Yeah, that's why it looked like that, y'all. People were worshiping the moon, so the Most High had to go ahead and rock the body. feel me?
So it's just doing it.
And like actual terms, like what is that bullshit?
This what I mean by having a good conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I can hear you, Jared.
My bad. Okay. I think the whole concept of them, or the reason why they want us to believe that these so-called meteors of comets are hitting, it stems back to what they trying to get us to believe. They want us to believe that the moon is a solid object. You have to peep game. They want us to believe that the moon is solid. So when you tell somebody that something can hit it in oblivion, hence it hits something what? Solid. It has to hit something solid in order to do so. Because if they was to come and tell us it was just a projection, that means the fucking comets and meteors and shit go through it. Am I right?
And that would mean the moon landings.
Right. So they need to promote that we're dealing with a solid object. So they have to tell you that shit are hitting it and blowing up and obliterating. So I'm asking this question: is the moon more sturdier than Earth? Because the last time I checked, it was like sand or some type of powder-like substance when they walk on it. Because think about it: if a man that weighs 180 pounds can leave an imprint in some balloon-like shoes, if a comet was to hit it, I would think that it wouldn't leave nothing. It would just sink in. We all know that shit was fake, but Don know he believed it was real. But you know,
I told you, though I live in the desert, so if it was filmed, in Amboy, it's a desert, and you get what I'm saying. You said sand when they jumping, that kind of correlate with that,
My second question is, if they say the moon has gravity, it's 1/6 gravity of Earth, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so how can the moon have a direct impact on all the tides on Earth that are located based on their numbers,
it makes no
approximately 238,000 miles away? So how can something that has 1/60 gravity have impact on something that has much more gravity?
Right, and especially when that bigger ball is having so much more pull on the moon. How is the pull influence on the Earth? If the Earth is, it just makes no sense. And then like when we're orbiting around the sun or whatever, when we're passing through and there's other planets that go in between, or the moon goes in between the sun, and how does the sun not just suck up that moon? Gravity makes no sense. It's very, very convenient.
I think we should let Madan answer on how the Great Divider would have done that.
As far as the tides are concerned.
Well, see, in the beginning, everything was perfect. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why things are off now is because the Most High shook the heavens. That's why everything looked like it's out of order. You see what I'm saying? But
the Romans,
in due time, everything. That's why the calendar is off, brother. Why you think they changed the calendar?
Because the Romans created it, fool.
No, man, no. Everybody.
That's why it's a
nation,
Julian calendar, man. The July.
No, man. Every nation on the planet. Listen real quick. Every nation on the planet had to change their calendar. That's a fact. Even the Chinese, it's been proven.
Okay.
Every nation on the planet back in the day that had a calendar system, they had to change their calendar from a 360 calendar to a 365 or 300. What's the Chinese for today?
I had school and all my teachers was Kemetic motherfuckers and shit. That's what Madan remind me of is my first teachers and shit. Like
let me now answer this question. What's the Chinese New Year?
I think it's the year of the rooster or April or something. I think it's in April.
No,
but this is the year of the rooster. This is the year of the
whole calendar, which is the exact date of which they say their year starts and begins. So no,
what I'm telling you
did not change their own calendar.
Yes, they did. Go back and look at the ancient Chinese calendar. They had to rearrange the calendar because the whole heavens got thrown off, man.
He talking about the Thai moon calendar is what he talking about. He just don't realize what he talking about. And
I know exactly what I'm saying. I said it plain as day. I said every nation that used the calendar system had to adjust their calendar, brother. That's all I'm saying.
What were they adjusting it for, though? You keep saying they're adjusting it. Why were they adjusting it?
Damn Hebrew calendar. They stole that from the fucking people of the Cushites and the man.
Man, they ain't steal nothing from no Cushites, man. And see, this is the thing about it. The Hebrews, at one point in time, they didn't need a calendar. They used the sun, the moon, and the stars to tell time with. But when the Most High shook up the heavens, they had to start to use a written calendar.
Why the hell was the Most High shaking up the heavens? Can you tell us that since you're telling us everything else, Madon?
Hold on. Go ahead.
Excuse me.
When you say the Most High shook up the heavens.
Hold on, man.
Oh wait.
Now let's Sassy speak, bro.
Yeah, Sass, go ahead.
Why is the Most High so damn angry that he have to shake up the heavens? Why are you saying that? Like
because man, woman, and child start worshiping the things in the heavens.
Well, why couldn't he just?
So he had to show them.
Why
he had to show them, hey,
them?
don't worship the creation. It's best to worship the Creator.
Well, why he didn't just take the creations out of the situation?
Sorry,
guys.
I'm trying to get Madon somewhere. Why he didn't just take the creation and destroy it? You trying to tell me that the Creator is such a hateful creator against his own creation that instead of speaking and dealing with them directly, he had to shake up the heavens to get them to pay attention to him?
Right, because he gave them time after time and they wouldn't listen. So, if you got a disobedient child, you got to show discipline. So if you're the creator and your creation is rebelling or bucking up against you, you have to straighten it out. You see what I'm saying?
So he's the creator.
That's my opinion. I mean,
he's the
that's what I
creator.
The Most High would never have feeble concepts that a human like us would come up with, right?
Well, if you look at it, what happened to the Mayans? What happened to the Aztecs? Where are these peoples?
You weren't there, so how do you know?
I know what happened.
You would sound good, don't it?
No, that's a fact. Even the people that stay in those places now say, the people that was here before us that built this, we don't know who they are. We don't know who they were.
You don't know.
I want you to realize, my brother.
We're all the bodies.
Please realize. Excuse me, sorry.
It just turned it off and turned into a whole different video.
Oh yeah, you're right. What the fuck? What the hell? That's some bullshit right there.
And I'm gonna turn it right back. Look, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press back. There you is. I'm gonna press you. And there you go.
Yo, Madon done brought his gravity cloak of invisibility to the panel.
Excuse me.
Trust and believe me, sister. If I had that much power, the world would be a different place.
So in the real world,
I bet it would.
So back in the real world, we have something called tides, and waves, and oceans that water is moving. The scientific claim in the real world is that the oceans are moving because of the moon. And the moon is supposedly 1/6 the gravity of Earth. How is that possible?
Thank you.
How is that possible?
You asking me that?
If the moon is big, I'm asking anyone who can give an intellectual answer. Because all this dogma, all it does is keep us ignorant and keep us arguing over things that's nonsensical that we can never verify. It creates circular arguments. And when you have circular arguments, you do not progress. You can say Most High as an answer for everything. But you don't have objective evidence to show any of that.
Intellectual answers, vegan, will
well,
not
come
from
the evidence is the proof that the people was not here. I mean,
no, it's not.
Try to get over.
Listen, Madon. There's a saying by a famous military man, and it says this. It says the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Okay, I want you to drill that into your brain.
Exactly. That's an old saying. That's from the Bible. That's old. I already know that. Come with something new, Sassy. Sorry to bust
Boy,
your
that
bubble.
is not from the Bible. That's actually from a
tonight.
human being that lives right here and now. And I don't need no damn book to tell me that when I got the person in living color. See, unlike you, I'm not stuck in a book. I don't need a book to tell me every damn thing. I have an original thought in my brain.
The book just get clarification.
There's no clarification in that book. It's nothing but confusion.
Your judgment further.
This is a deliberate distraction. That's what this is.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Basically, all you got to think about what has happened in the last couple hours. Our hangouts have been knocked down, right? You relaunched the hangout 2 times, and now you have someone on the panel who's dedicated to distraction. So this discussion. So this discussion. So
I agree. I agree 100%.
So when his fails, now this chat is going to get taken down. This is just nothing but another tactic. That's all this is, in my opinion.
I consider it facts. You're talking about things that's taking place.
As it's progressing.
Yeah, I mean that's again, like I said, man, we're gonna be truth seekers and truth speakers. That's what we gotta live and breathe. That shit. We can't be walking, talking contradictions. You understand what I'm saying? We want undeniable proof in every aspect of life. So when somebody want to bring in and say the Most High this or whatever they say, you need to either back it up or shut it up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got undeniable proof to back up the claims, ain't no need to even because that's what we're trying to deal with. You know, I mean, I asked the question earlier. Hold on, brother. I asked the question earlier where you said the people are not here, is it? Ain't it? So if the people are not here, that means you cannot verify it. You cannot verify something that's missing. If the bodies are not there, how can you verify there was bodies to begin with? The Bible can tell me that 100 million people died, what we would consider as Africa right now. How the fuck can you prove that hundreds of million people died there? There ain't no bodies there.
Yo.
If I walk into a house and see a dead body, I can verify there's a dead body in this damn house. So all that shit about these people died, these people drowned, there was a flooding, and everybody died for about a whole bunch of nothing. That's where I'm at with it. Go ahead.
We got sniped again. Good Lord. I guess I'm going to call it a night then. Because this shit is really getting old.
And you already know what it is.
I like a do the cha-cha.
Y'all told don't mess with me, man. What's wrong with her? Let's see what we got. Tell you when you debate a globe earth, they don't sound like that. And then they get mad because we don't understand what they're talking about. Hold on, let me get this pad. Let me get the pedal back up. What time it is? Oh, I got it. We good, family. We good. I'm about to set it back up. I ain't gonna let them stop our stream. We had a good build going. You know what I'm saying? And they just had to cry. You know, they just had to cry. They're like, Dre, stop putting the truth out there, man. Why you putting the truth out there, man? Come on.
And when you put it in the chat, it will send you to Google Play Store, and it will tell you to either download or update your Google Hangout. If when you do either or, it'll send you to for all your different conversations, but it won't send you. And even if, let's say, I go to the thing where the conversation is supposed to be, the link won't be there. It'll just be the last thing we talked about. It won't be what you just sent me. And so
You got like, something like
here I go, brother. What was that brother was saying, man? That brother was saying some foul.
Here we go, Madon.
Hello, Madon. It ain't in here yet. Hold on.
Outside of the Bible, so that was his point. Basically, he was saying, keep your mouth shut unless you can answer intellectually, and that means an original thought, Madon, something that you lack.
He gonna say when we're dealing with the Most High, there is no original thought.
That's so this shit though.
Man, you got to be silly as you can be, brother. The Bible's not the only book that I deal with. I mean, I can go across the span. I mean, what you want to go to? I don't have to use the.
Get that strong concordance.
See why these brothers are coward, man. Why you gotta mute me, man? Why you acting like a beta male self-manginus? Why you gotta mute me, brothers?
Damn.
Who muted?
They don't know.
Yeah, so-called wannabe vegan,
bullshit.
Unwarrior.
Madonna, it pops up. If you would have got muted, it'll pop up. It'll pop up on my screen.
Yeah, it popped up. It said vegan muted you. Or muted me, you know what I mean?
He said shut the hell up.
Yeah, it popped up real quick. You're a little slickster, man.
No, that was
with a Trayvon Martin hoodie on.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
I ain't see it.
Man, what's Trayvon Martin got to do with this, brother?
Exactly.
Stop bitching. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Go ahead.
Yeah. saying, no,
All right, no
I
doubt.
was making a point before y'all got ahead. What my point was is that we deal with the truth. And once you bring in a belief, you no longer have the truth. I hope you understand this, Madonna. You can't and then drag your belief and put it on top of what you consider as your truth and say that your truth still stands. You do not have undeniable proof that what you're talking about is real. You have no evidence. You have nothing to show us except some books and shit. You have to be able to back up your claims, bro. That's all we said.
Well, I mean, I feel where you're coming from, but according to all historians and archaeologists, they all come up with their explanation of what happened, which is based off belief. So to me, the best common denominator that shows me what happened to those people, it seems as though they was taken away in the flood. You know what I mean? But hey, who knows?
Where they bones and stuff at? Where all these bodies? Why they not riddled all around the earth?
See, the thing about the flood water reached the heavens to the top of the sky, and that's what caused what they want to say is called an ice age. It wasn't no damn ice age. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights straight. You know how much rain that is? You know how much water that is? So the water reached to the heavens. That's why they found woolly mammoths still frozen and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the bones, everything was scattered.
Where did the water go after,
so
Madonna?
you ain't
Where
gonna
did
find
it
no
go?
bones. Let me talk about the woolly mammoth real fast. The woolly mammoth was found frozen because it was in a cold climate that whole time when they found them. I don't understand how you right, but when they found a lot of animals, but check it out though, Ed. When they found down here, and it was still cold down here, and they found it down here. All right, now check it though, right? Why was a lot of those animals they found? Why was they still in they moving position? Some was fighting. They didn't found Africa because that means a long time ago there used to be water there and sharks lived there. That has nothing to do with all the shit you said.
There's a water.
That's cool.
Why they no dead bodies and frozen animals or whatever inside the mountains?
It might be.
Chip it up because
a lot of stuff
floated up to what?
A lot of stuff haven't been rediscovered. You know what I mean?
No, rediscovered. Okay.
Yeah,
these places that people weren't at. So, do you think Columbus discovered America?
No, he didn't discover it. He just happened to walk up on it, a place people was already living at.
Right. So,
but
how come you don't take that same and apply that to that other thing you were saying earlier? Saying that.
What other thing? Huh? I couldn't hear you, Nick.
No, you were saying that the flood wiped out all the people and they got on the land and no one was there, kind of thing.
Right. And to the other people, other tribes started migrating to those lands and took those lands over. And then that's when the Spanish and the Conquistadors and all these other people came in.
Took over land.
You know that some rainforest.
I mean, that's just my point of view. I'm not saying it's factual. I'm just saying that's what I think happened. You know what I mean? It makes most sense to me. But hey, who knows?
Okay. I just wanted to pick your brain.
Hold on, guys.
Try to understand.
I want him to answer this question about this rain. How hard was it raining for it to flood the whole entire plain? Because
Who is Josh Shirley? We got a double in here.
Josh, that's you?
Yeah, it's me. It's fucking up. I finally got Hangouts to let me into Hangouts. I was having to do this shit through fucking Google Chrome and shit.
So, in the rainforest, in some cases, it rain all year. You talking about fucking 40 days, 30 days, 30 nights, 40 days, 40 nights. You have some rainforests that it never stop raining. It just rained 365. So, how hard was it raining, my brother? Was it drizzling for 40 days or 30 days? Or was it like a constant pour? Because even if it was the rain for 30 days, I don't see how that would seal up the whole entire place.
What about all the other boats? What about all the other boats?
All right, have you like in Houston, right? When Houston flooded, right?
So the whole
When
entire
Houston,
plane was covered in clouds.
all right, when Houston
So
flooded,
the whole plane was. Why
Go
they
ahead,
don't talk about the sky? Why they don't talk about the sky? Because that's something I would be describing. One of the first things
Nobody else had
boats.
when Noah warned people. I mean, yeah, you could have had a boat, but right, but
Nobody knew how to.
Noah's boat was enclosed. It was damn near like a submarine. You see what I'm saying? But your ass would have got washed up off of there.
Madon,
what I'm saying is
you
this.
do know that you're proving that the Earth is a flat plane when you say that Houston flooded, because if the Earth is round, there should never be flooding. Okay.
What do you mean? The atmosphere creates an enclosure.
No, how does the atmosphere create an enclosure when the atmosphere is nothing but molecules, gases, and air, and then there's a vacuum? So where does the vacuum end and the atmosphere begin? Pressurized by what, Madon, when there's no atmosphere in space?
I don't know how the Most High made the air pressurized.
You sure said that right
though.
when you said you don't know. Damn, you just became a man.
On Earth, every pressurized thing has to have a barrier.
Right, out of space. Out of space is the barrier.
That's not a physical barrier.
What you mean?
What?
Out of space.
Physical barrier dividing outer space from Earth.
Right.
Here.
Right. Which is what they call the magnetic. Which is what they call the magnetic field.
No, there was only
that's the barrier. Say that again.
2 of every animal got on one boat.
Sound like a robot, vegan.
Yeah.
What about animals from the rainforest?
How was he able to obtain to an area animal in that one location when we do understand that penguins will be where it's ice and shit.
Exactly.
Like,
Said that Noah was the only family that survived, but the Lord was working with him. I just want to know how the ice age came to be after that. If the dry lands appeared after the flood, and what time period are we looking at for it to have frozen all the way to the damn top of this and very visible barrier that you're talking about since you was there?
Well, what I'm telling you is this, Sassy. When that flood water went up, certain parts of the earth turned. That's why now the earth is still recovering from the flood. But they tell you that it's global warming.
Only one boat.
Why did it turn into ice?
What about the bugs?
The ancestors never said it
that,
turned to ice.
You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking, there's all sorts of shit.
Wait, hold on. Why the Bible don't talk about the North and South Pole, like areas of frozen areas?
Because those are new.
About the 2 hemispheres. I had to go in and get that scripture for you. It's in there.
You know why they don't talk about the North and South Pole? Because the man who wrote the book can only implement what he knows. He can only implement. The person himself never been to the North Pole, so he don't know that the North Pole exists. So in that book, this is obvious, my brother.
People will brag about how intelligent this book is and all this shit, but when you think about the mindset of the person who wrote it, you realize that this is a foul, evil, fucking misogynistic, genocidal, like all sorts of motherfucking things. Like, but this is the Most High.
I mean, what do you expect?
How do you get division from the Most High? That don't make throw babies on rocks. All this bullshit in the name of the Most High.
There was only one boat.
Yeah, one boat. And like Vegan said, where's all these other boats? The Vikings, all these folks who went from their original lands in boats.
Man, when you talking about the Vikings, man, you know how later down the line that was, brother?
Do you really know that it was
just talking about only Noah had a boat. Y'all ain't know Noah had a boat.
For Noah to build a boat, he had to have already seen other boats. Right?
To know what? No,
exactly.
Right.
Everybody
You had
else.
the Philistines. You had what they call the Philistines, or what we call the Canaanites or Cushites. You had these people around, and they was the Phoenicians. My bad. You had the Phoenicians, who was the Navy get their concepts from. The Phoenicians was the best builders of boats and sea travelers ever. You ask anybody in the Navy that knows any history, they know that they got their history from the Phoenicians.
So Noah had the only boat.
No, he didn't have the only boat. He had the only boat that the Most High was able to put his glory on and protect.
So nobody else had a functioning boat but Noah.
So the Most High was like, fuck it.
No, I'm saying people had boats, but they didn't have an enclosure. You see, Noah, when Noah and his family and everybody that got in that boat, when you read the scriptures, the Most High enclosed it. You know what I'm saying? So you could have been on a regular boat, but your ass would have been washed overboard.
Hold on. One at a time. Go ahead, B.
So nobody had an enclosed boat but Noah.
Exactly. You can see that through history. You look at all the ancient Egyptian boats. You can look at everybody's boats. It didn't have an enclosure like Noah's did.
The first enclosed boat was Noah's.
Right, that was built like that, yup. I mean, they probably had they can go under inside the boat, but
there's no
it would have just shattered that shit.
There is no ancient boat found. The only boat that they considered ancient, when they found it, it was all in pieces, and they reproduced that boat. It's an Egypt boat. So what Madon's saying, it's not true. There is no ancient boat found and seen that didn't have an enclosure, and it's the only one.
Man, you talking about Kufu
just
boat.
making shit up. He's making shit up
Okay,
to
just
go
based
along
off
with his argument.
Yeah, just based off what I've been hearing him say, this sounds like the original overcompensation of the male phallus.
Brother, all right, check this out, right? How did the Egyptians come to pass?
How did he get two animals on the boat?
So you trying to tell us that
God before the Egyptians?
You trying to say that God said
not the Egyptians? One of the Egyptian forefathers, one of Noah's sons.
Well, stop it, cut it out. Y'all want to always talk about the sugar. You have sex with your sisters and your mother to repopulate the earth. Get the hell out of here.
Hold on, y'all overlapping each other. Hold on, Madonna. Hold on. Now we need the one at a time to go on. Let them deal.
Yeah, just answer that for me. What book can you believe? I don't. Me personally, I believe the Bible, but I'm not like a spiritual person or anything. But my thing is, if we don't believe the Bible, cool. But what book are we gonna believe? Men lie in every book.
Damn.
We read Africans, Egyptians. They all liars.
Okay, so why do you gotta refer to any book then?
No, my thing is we wanna say the Bible is a liar. There was no flood. But what book can we go to and really find truth?
After critical thinking, no matter what book you read.
Absolutely.
Well, so every individual got to go by their critical thinking.
If you don't have basic critical thinking skills, I don't care what book you read, you will never discover truth.
And it can all be used to enslave
If you
you.
don't know how to think, if you don't know how to think and interpret the words that you have in front of you, you can be misled and misguided, and you can fall for the Game of Thrones as being reality. It's that simple.
You gotta apply
skills, man. Now, how in the hell do you get two of every animal on a damn boat?
Don't forget the bugs.
Is there anything impossible? Is there anything impossible? If that was, let's say.
First of all, it's not about anything being possible. It's about what's likely versus what's not likely.
Fuck it up. We have to do one at a time. I really want the one at a time.
There's one thing about the Bible.
I'm asking examples of what you say is true. You say it's possible.
Hold on. Give me a sec. Vegan and the brothers having a dialogue. Let them two brothers deal, man. Mute your mics if you're not them two. When you want to cut in.
I'm sorry.
All right, because I want the dialogue. I got you, fam. I want the dialogue to be between y'all. I don't want it to seem like it's 8 versus 1. You see what I'm saying? So I want these two. Y'all two go ahead and have the flow. Y'all go ahead.
Brother, I'll be quiet after I make my point. All I'm saying is people can believe whatever they want. There's nothing wrong with belief. Your beliefs are personal. That's what you have within yourself. But as soon as you take your beliefs and pour it out into the world, you need to show some tangibility of what you claim. You can't say something
about that. Okay. You don't notice the people of the Bible, the proof is within us as far as like a man that claims that the Bible is true and stuff. I understand why until God revealed to them that he exists, they have every right not to believe in the Bible. Me personally, I believe the Bible is true, but I wake up every day knowing that I cannot see that whatever these people are talking about, I cannot find it. They found the Spirit of God in them. So they testify the Spirit of God that's in them that they found in the Bible. So of course, yeah, I understand why you don't believe in the Bible. You don't have to, you shouldn't believe in the Bible till you wake up and you find the Spirit of God that the Bible talk about within yourself, within your heart. Till you wake up, all you want to do is listen to God's word, the Bible, because that's the only place it's supposed to be they found God in the Bible. As far as for them, not for you.
My last point.
Uh-huh.
My last point. That you can have for as long as you want. My last point is really simple. The Europeans brought you the Bible. Let me say it again so everyone can hear me. The Europeans brought you the Bible.
That's not true. It's from Israel.
Let me finish. What you call the King James Bible, for example, just using that one particular Bible, there was a king of England, James. He brought you
we know the story.
Bible. So when an African American man gets on grandstanding about the Bible, he must take into consideration where that source came from. And the impact that the European has had on our people. We embraced the slave. We did not have the Bible. We did not have the Bible in Africa. So it was introduced to us during slavery. Slavery of individuals and slavery of the entire continent. The entire continent was enslaved by Europeans. And they forced religion on the African.
White people
didn't slavery. King James brought it to you.
Brother, by you saying that shows me you don't know the Bible.
That's why we must have critical thinking to go through all that stuff with a fine-tooth comb, because we know the source of Christianity started in Europe, but then was started in Africa.
He didn't talk. He let you talk without interrupting you one time.
You don't know your sources. If you go back and really learn about the history of Christianity, it's a European construct. And what was the Crusades about? What was the scramble for Africa about? It was the spread of Christianity on people of color. So when people of color defend the Bible, it tells me right off the bat, you don't know your history. And if you don't know your history, that means you're misguided across the board. I have nothing else to say.
Vegan, I have a few questions for you. Okay, you saying, true or false? Is it true the Bible originated in
Rome are the first Christians. Rome are the first new Christians.
No, listen to me.
That's where the Vatican comes from. That's where the Pope comes from. That's the original Christian religion. Rome.
Okay. Listen, I understand Christianity. You gotta remember, Christianity was being killed. You guys always miss out the part where they was getting chased by the Romans. They were being killed. They were persecuted.
The Romans created Christianity. They created Christianity.
How they created something that they was trying to destroy.
326 AD. They created.
Can you address, please address this question? Why was the Romans trying to kill all the Christians when Jesus went, whatever?
What is the origins of Christianity? It's the Roman Catholic Church.
Why were vegan? Answer that question. Is it historically correct that the Romans at first was trying to kill Christians? Correct or not?
Absolutely. But they created
Okay,
the Roman Catholic.
You notice that. You know why they adapted Christianity? Because they couldn't get rid of it. So they had to find a different system. How do we
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. I'm talking about who created Christianity.
So how could you say the Europeans
Roman.
didn't make up Christianity? Christianity was there. They wanted to get rid of it. And they couldn't get rid of it because these Christians were still going around talking that Jesus Christ.
Actually, that's a false. That's
so
false.
How do we
That's false, brother.
They invaded Christianity. They
Can I
invaded
get
it.
some clarity? Can I make some clarity? Hey, that's right. That's right, Ruben. Hold on, Madonna.
They were killing anybody who didn't take the faith, okay? It wasn't that they were Christians. They were killing anybody who did not take the faith. They weren't killing Christians. They were killing people who were of the original faith.
Here's the mistake you're making, sister. Here's the mistake
it's not a mistake,
right?
because I know the
origins. I know what you're saying. They wasn't called Christians then, of course not. But the word Christian only came from the people that was following Jesus. Their name wasn't Christians then. Of course, they didn't have that name. They didn't have a name, so they gave them a name. They were like, "Oh, the Christians," because there was a complication between Christians and Judaism, because Christians came from Judaism because Jesus practiced Judaism, but it got transferred to Christianity because no longer. Listen. No longer.
We're talking New Testament. Where did it come from?
That's the problem. Why do you think you have the Old Testament Bible? The Bible is not made up of just one.
All the Christianity we talk about today is New Testament. Where does the New Testament?
No, that's not. Okay. Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna listen to your answer. I'm gonna ask you a question and listen to your answer.
You're trying to answer.
Can I ask a question?
Listen, you're trying to answer vegan with a question.
Yeah.
I was about to ask this one question.
Black man,
the Bible came from the Jewish people.
Black man, say where your Bible comes from.
It came from the Jewish people. You're missing a question. That's why he keeps saying you're asking what a question. What vegan is getting to is, you know what I'm about to say, and you start saying that's not true.
Yes. Come on, Madonna. Now let the man do his
thing. Don't even know their own history. That's the bottom line.
The problem is when they transferred certain things from paganism into Christianity to get the people just to go ahead to keep going with the new faith. What that did was change the whole structure of that original thing, thought process, whatever. So to say Christianity did not start from that time period, you're wrong.
Well,
it did start from that time period. It's a whole different set of religion and laws. They said most of that stuff that the people said before it didn't happen. They just took the main characters, main points, and set this new religion with that tied together and tried to say they was wrong, this is true. We found it. That's why Constantine is the same. They said they found God, talked to them and told them, you're right, put this religion on the people. So Christianity, yes, that's European thought process. When you say Hebrew Bible, yes, you're talking a different thing. But you're merging it. And he's showing you, when you say King James, that's nothing original. That's something man created. I just said how they merged. I just explained.
I know, but
let me say it again. Maybe you didn't get it. They merged it. They took main characters of the original story, put it to what they have now. Like I said, that's how Constantine is the same. He said God spoke to him and said, y'all got it right. Go ahead, give this religion to the people. So yes, they took old thing. That's why I said when we talk about Hebrew, yes, you're talking about something that's not King James. And when people, according to Constantine, it was the hand in the sky that led him to war.
I don't believe that.
I just explained how you talk to God and talk. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. I just said.
So
that means he adopted. That means Constantine adopted something.
I don't usually do this.
And everybody that watches this know how you do this. I'm gonna mute my mic.
It's a historical event that happened. Constantine is not in the Bible. For example, let me give you an example.
All right, let me. Can I have the flow for just 1 second, please?
Go ahead.
Because regardless of, I don't, if it's Christian, yeah, it's Saint James, Saint Buddha. I really don't care. I don't care because they're all branches that's connected to the same damn rooted tree. Mm-hmm. All they did was dice the motherfucker up for different types of people. That's all it is. If I speak Japanese, wouldn't you have to interpret it in a Japanese language for my Japanese ass to read that same bullshit? Yes. So when everybody talking about, oh, it's Hebrew version of it, oh, it's an American version of it, it's the same fucking shit. In order for you to control the whole entire plane, you have to create it different sectors so everybody can fall under the same fucking umbrella. That's your religion. That's all y'all religions. They're all connected. So people are trying to find my book is real. Christianity is fake. Those are real Christians. No, those are fake Christians. Look how people act when they live under a belief system. Or people that believe something else other than what they believe. And then you can't even get along with people that don't believe anything. You'll find that to be a damn problem. Not only that they fuss and fight with other believers, they fuss and fight with non-believers. That's a problem. You have to look at it for what it is, man. The whole
religion's been around though. Religion's always been around.
Religion wasn't around when man was first created. I guarantee that.
I guarantee
there's a date.
It did.
Well, let me say this. All world religions come out of Babylon.
Hold on, my dog.